Okay, now that we've looked at a template file, let's go ahead and look at a CSS file and discuss the coding conventions there. So I'm going to jump back to the theme directory, and in the Bartik theme here, I can open up the CSS folder and grab one of these to take a look at. Let's go ahead and open up the style.css file. As of right now, there's no official CSS coding standards. However, there is a working draft, and core files in Drupal should adhere to this standard. In the future, this will become an official standard, and all modules and themes will need to adhere to it. So what we're going to do is look at what the current recommendations are in the draft, and of course these are the things that will likely make it into the final cut when this becomes official. Okay, so at the top here you see that we're using a comment convention to specify this particular chunk using the slash, star, and then star slash. When you're doing short comments inside of CSS, you should use this convention. But then for longer, more descriptive content that might need to be pulled into documentation later on, you can use the Doxygen style formatting. The structure here is to use a opening tag after a space, after the selector, and to put each definition on its own line. So instead of separating all of these out with colons and adding them right after the opening curly bracket, we're just going to separate them out line by line, and we're indenting them with 2 spaces. When we have multiple selectors that we're going to apply the same styles to, we're just going to separate them out with a comma, as per usual, but we're going to put each one on its own line. So you see that happening here, here, and here as well. There's really not an awful lot to the proposed CSS coding standards. That covers most of them. In this theme, you see that we're ordering properties in kind of a haphazard way. Part of the standards, the proposed standards, is to order properties alphabetically. So border would be near the top and word wrap would be near the bottom, which would make it easier to read at a glance. And also, CSS shouldn't include any non-standard syntax. So browser hacks, things like that wouldn't be included here. But instead, those types of hacks would be moved into separate CSS files, which are then included conditionally using an HTML conditional comment inside of the page template.